Hello, this is Bwana from Bwana.tv, and today I'm going to talk about the iPhone, and specifically how to take this particular iPhone here that I have that's been restored and doesn't have anything on it, and how to take this iPhone and jailbreak it and also unlock the iPhone using this tool called the Pwnage Tool, or Pwnage Tool. And this is a tool that was released by the iPhone development team, and it provides a very easy mechanism and a very easy interface on how to unlock, number one, and jailbreak your iPhone. Now, sometimes people get those two terms confused, and let me just restate what they mean. Jailbreaking an iPhone means that you are enabling your phone to run custom software. So some custom software is installed on your iPhone, and it allows you to run installer.app and other tools like that, which allow you to install applications which weren't available on the App Store. This is how people got custom applications on their iPhone prior to Software 2.0. Now, unlocking your iPhone is specifically tied to your phone carrier. So if you're using AT&T in the United States and you want to use T-Mobile instead, you would have to unlock your iPhone, and that will unlock the radio, as they call it, and it will allow you to run the iPhone on any GSM compatible carrier. So Pwnage Tool here will do both in one fell swoop. So I'm going to try to demonstrate it to you as best as I can. It's a long process, so I'm going to kind of cut in between some of the waiting stages, but just so you can see some of the more important things. Now, when you're presented with it, it has a nice interface, big buttons. Which do you have? An iPhone, an iPod Touch, or an iPhone 3G? And in my case, I have a iPhone Edge, or an iPhone 1st gen here, that I'm preparing to jailbreak and unlock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this, and it puts a giant check mark next to it, and then it tells you to click here to continue. So I'm going to do that. So now it's searching my computer for the firmware bundle, or the IPSW file. This is the firmware file that Apple provides in order for you to install a new firmware or restore from a previous firmware. So I already had this file on my machine, and it found it. It searched my machine and found it. So if you don't have this on your machine, it's going to prompt you to browse for the file if it can't find it. Now, I'm using this in what's called simple mode. There's two buttons at the top here, simple mode and expert mode. If you click expert mode, you'll notice that it automatically tells you to browse for IPSW. And as we go through each one of the steps, I'll show you the differences between simple and expert mode as much as I can. So I'm going to go forward again. And when you switch between simple and expert mode, I probably shouldn't do that, because when you go between simple and expert mode, it restarts the wizard. So I'm going to choose this firmware, which is the 2.0 firmware 58347, and I'm going to click here to continue. And it says we will now create an IPSW file that you can use to restore your iPhone with iTunes. This file will be placed on your desktop. Do you want to continue? Now, I'm going to say no here, simply because I want to show you the advanced options as well. That's going to, by default, jailbreak, and based on my experience, jailbreak and unlock your iPhone right from this particular custom firmware. So that's pretty cool, right? So I'll show you some of the advanced options before I go on. So I'm going to choose iPhone again. Click next. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to go to expert mode first. And I'm going to choose this and click next. And when you go to advanced mode, now you have the option of choosing different options here. If you click on the general and then go next, you can choose to activate the iPhone, and this is if you are not a legitimate iPhone owner, meaning that you have an iPhone without a valid SIM card, which in this case the phone I have doesn't have a valid SIM card anymore since I got a new iPhone. So I'm going to choose it to activate the iPhone. You can disable partition wipeout, and it explains all these options here. The default choice for disable partition wipeout will disable a paranoid security wipe, which can take up to 40 minutes to complete. So if you want to wipe your iPhone, which is something I recommend, you should uncheck this, and it's going to wipe your iPhone completely so that you can completely get rid of all of the leftover settings and files that the Apple wipe tool leaves behind, because the one that's built in doesn't do a good job of wiping your phone. So you should uncheck this if you're going to use the wipe tool. And then installer packages, if I go next, and it tells me that for this particular firmware, installer.app support is not implemented, so I'll have to use Cydia, which is something new. Then there's custom packages, BootNeuter. This is what's used to upload the bootloader. And I should probably talk about this now. The Pwnage Tool requires the bootloader file to be downloaded, and if you don't have it, it will search Google for you to download it on your machine. As soon as you put this file on your machine, it will find it, and you won't see that again. See, I already have it here, so I don't see the messages to deal with it. But if any of this stuff confuses you, just don't mess with it. Just go ahead, just go ahead and. I got distracted by that picture. It's pretty funny. Just go ahead and use the default settings on simple mode. Now, by default, you have two different custom boot logos, and this is something that some people may want to change. Here you can select from custom graphics that will use in place of stock graphics. They will be used in place of the usual graphics and be customized using the browse button. So I'm going to uncheck these, because I want to keep the standard browse and I'm sorry, there's a standard boot and the standard recovery logo, but you can keep this pineapple and this Steve Jobs with the Russian text and everything. So I think I don't think it saved my settings before, so I'm gonna go ahead and okay. All right. What else did I say? General. Yeah, okay. It did do that. Alright, so I clicked too many backs. Just gonna make sure it kept my settings. No, it didn't. So I'll do them again. Next. Let's take off these custom logos. Alright, so when I'm done here, I'm gonna click build. And this part's gonna take some time. So I'm gonna go ahead and click build. And then click the next button here. And it's going to ask me to save a custom IPSW file. So I'm going to call this custom. I'm going to leave the name the same, and I'm going to call it custom restore no logos, just so I'll know the difference. And it starts to build the IPSW file. Now this is going to take a little while, and after this is done, what it's going to do is it's going to create this IPSW, and then I'm going to come back a little bit later and I'm going to restore my iPhone using this firmware, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'll be back. Okay, so now that the file has finished building, it asks you, has your iPhone been pwned before? I.e., does it have the pineapple logo? If you're unsure, click no. And this one definitely has not been pwned before, so I will say no. And now it's asking me to connect my device via USB, so I'm going to go ahead and do that here. And it says turn off the device, so I'm going to hold this down. Meanwhile, iTunes is popping up, and I'm going to slide the power off. So now it's turning off, and it says prepare to press home buttons in 5 seconds. Power and home buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. I got a feeling that I'm gonna have to do that one up. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that over. Right now we have to put it in DFU mode, and it kind of helps you by doing this. This is the trickiest part, I think, about it all. So yeah, it says fail to enter DFU mode. Would you like to try again? I'm gonna say yes. So to go into DFU mode, I was hoping it would prompt me so I can talk about it. You have to hold the power button and the home button in certain ways, and it's going to tell you how to do it. So it says turn off the device, and I think my device is still booting up here. And I think I didn't, instead of holding the home and the other one down, I did it wrong. You're doing it wrong, man. So So I'm gonna go ahead and power this guy off. At least try to. Okay. So when I power it off, the timer's gonna start. So I'm gonna go ahead and get things ready here. So I'm just power this off. It says turn off device. Prepare to press home, power and home buttons in 5 seconds. 3, 4, bam! Here I go. I'm holding it down. Hold it down. See the timer in the top left? 10 seconds. And then after this 10 seconds, I have to let go of the power button on the top. And it says prepare to release the power button. I release the power button, and now I'm holding the home button for 10 seconds. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I have successfully entered DFU mode, it tells me here. So now it says close the Pwnage Tool, start iTunes, and restore from your custom firmware bundle. So it created that file where I told it to, and now I'm going to restore from that. So I'm going to go ahead and close Pwnage Tool. It's pretty much, it says you are in. So iTunes has detected that my phone is in recovery mode. Here's the dialog here. I don't know if you can read it that well. And this is what you should see when you successfully enter DFU mode. So now I'm gonna go into iTunes here. I got excuse me, iTunes open, and in Windows I believe it's Alt, but on the Mac you do Option click on Restore. This will allow you to browse excuse me. This will allow you to browse to the firmware, and here it is. This is the one I have right here. It's called blah 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 blah, and I put no logos at the end. I don't know if you can see that. And then I'm gonna do open. So now it's extracting the software. I put this dialog down here, and now it's going to begin to restore from this particular file. So rather have you sit through all of these steps, I'm going to go ahead and stop it here, and I'll bring it back once it's done. Okay, I'm back, and looks like my phone has now been reset to factory settings. And let me move iTunes down here for a second here. And okay, so let me make the screen black back here so you can see better. Now it looks like it's loading BootNeuter automatically. I haven't done a thing. Only thing I did was just let it sit there and restart. So once you install that custom firmware, right now it is running BootNeuter to unlock my iPhone. So it is now flashing my bootloader, and it needed those files earlier that I talked about, the bootloader files, in order to do this. And this takes about, didn't take that long, maybe about 2 to 3 minutes tops. If it goes too long, I'll interrupt the video so we won't have to sit here and watch a dialogue. Yep, BootNeuter is the name of it. This is what it's going to allow you to run your iPhone on any GSM carrier. Okay, so it flashed it. It says the bootloader was successfully flashed. Now flashing baseband. This will take up to 2 minutes. So there's 2 steps there. The bootloader and the baseband. So that last thing took about less than, I think it took about a minute, maybe a minute 30 seconds. And this one's going to take about 2 minutes. So after this completes, I just want to just summarize. Actually, I'll just summarize what we did so far. We've I went ahead and used the Pwnage tool in order to create a custom firmware that will automatically be unlocked and jailbroken. That program allows you to install your own custom apps. You can also specify custom logos that you want on here, and specify whether you want to unlock it or not. And there's a bunch of other things I didn't go over. I just learned. This is my first time actually using this particular version of Pwnage Tool. And I see they've made some pretty good improvements, and it's a lot easier. The hardest part, as you saw earlier, is that you really you just have to get the button sequence down to go into DFU mode. in order to begin the process. But once you do that, it's pretty smooth sailing. So I'm probably like at a minute and some change now. I just babbled a little bit there. La 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 la. I'm flashing my baseband. Oh, my iPhone, my iPhone, my iPhone. Flashing my baseband using BootNeuter. BootNeuter on my iPhone. See, now they're making me bored now. I'm gonna start singing. The bootloader was successfully flashed. Now flashing baseband. Sorry. Now flashing baseband. This could take up to 2 minutes, depending on your point of view and whether you recording the video or not. I'm just gonna sit here and keep singing until they do it, until it's finished. It said up to 2 minutes. It's been 2 minutes, man. Oh, torture. I know as soon as I stop the video, it's gonna be done, so I will not give in. I will not give in. No. Okay. Now this is getting old. I'm just gonna drift off into space. Back. Flashing my baseband, my baseband. Flashing my baseband. Thank it. Okay. I'm getting on my own nerves now. I'm just gonna sit here and watch. Okay. Yep. So what's there to talk about? So my new iPhone I'm enjoying a lot. A 3G I got. It's a pretty good phone. The only thing I'm feeling is some of the software bugs, but there's gonna be a full review of that coming up shortly. I always want to use the device for more than 1 day. I really want to get in about 3 days of usage before I give you guys a full review, because there's just some things you just don't see after, you know, poking around a few days. You know, you got to receive some calls, you got to be out and about, you know, you just got to use it in the real world. And I can't say I do the same thing every day on my iPhone. Alright, I'm gonna stop the video. I'm tired of looking at this, and I'll come back when it's done. Okay, looks like we finished. I came back in here after eating dinner because it took a while. I forgot that we left that setting to do the secure wipe, so that's what was taking so long. It did the secure wipe of the operating system, and lo and behold, here we have an iPhone with 2.0 software. You see the App Store icon, and then there's also a Cydia icon. Right, see, Cydia is the new app that allows us to install custom applications. Now I don't have wireless setup on this thing, so I'm just not gonna set it up. I'm just gonna leave it plain Jane, and I'm gonna just make sure that it got the I'm gonna restart it to see if it got the logo right. Make sure I got that custom logo thing right. And if I did, this thing will be successfully done. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know about you guys, but all in all, if you don't do the restore or the secure wipe, it doesn't. Yep, there we go, Apple logo. So we don't have a pineapple logo. Alright, this is cool. So this phone is now officially jailbroken, and it is officially unlocked, meaning that I can use it with any carrier. And as you saw, I didn't do a whole lot other than just holding down buttons and waiting. So, and customization. And this is the custom firmware I have on my desktop, so I can reuse it and, you know, for restores and not have to redo a lot of things. Or, you know, I can get fancy now and do some custom applications installs. So I think the next one I do, I'm gonna probably put like some common apps, like maybe some IM apps, or you know, maybe a couple common games or things like that. All right, this is Bwana from Bwana.tv, and I have went from iPhone 2.0 official now to an unlocked, jailbroken 2.0 phone on this iPhone Edge phone. 2.0 jailbroken and unlocked in probably about less than 2 hours. So it shouldn't take you that long to do it yourself. All right, I hope this helped you.